This is the exam environment, an interface through which you have access to a pre-configured 4-node Hadoop cluster. When you first log in, you'll see the welcome page that outlines the exam process and provides specific details you'll need in order to take the test. It's also a good idea to increase the size and the font so they're big enough to be easily readable. So we'll drag this over to the corner, stretch it so it's reasonably good sized, and Control-Shift+ to increase the font. There, it's nicely readable. We're going to work through problem number 1. So let's go there. The instructions tell us that we need to install Flume and set up a single pipeline. We should also note the intention to install more pipelines from multiple sources later. This requires a more granular approach to configuration than parallel pipelines from a single data source. The output requirements section defines the successful solution for this problem. There are 4 key items in this case, which we'll need to do and confirm. Based on these, we'll need a terminal for command line configuration and testing, and Cloudera Manager for service installation. So let's open a terminal. There we are. First, we'll create data incoming. Now, since it starts off from the HDFS root, we'll need the appropriate HDFS rights to create it and set ownership and permissions on it. So we'll become user HDFS and do that. Now let's add the Flume service. From the welcome page, we have a link to the Cloudera Manager web UI with the authentication information, user of admin and password admin, which happen to be pre-filled here. So we'll log in, go to add a service for the cluster. We know from the instructions that our data is coming into the gateway node, so that's where we'll need to install our agent. Now let's configure the agent. This alert recommends that we make changes at the service level, but we know from the problem statement that we want to configure the instance rather than the entire service because we plan to create different instance configurations later. So we'll click Cancel to configure the instance rather than the service level. We'll copy the recipe from the data description section and paste it in. Control-C, Control-V to paste, and save the changes. And now we will start the agent. We'll watch the process to ensure that everything is okay. In fact, we'll check the roll log for errors. All right, and the Flume agent is reporting having started writing the first temp file. Excellent. Last, we'll switch to the terminal and ensure that our files are actually being created in the target directory. And there we are. The files are being generated. We have now completed and confirmed all 4 of the output requirements in this problem.